What's up, guys? Adam Carlson here, coming at you from Sydney, Australia. Over the last 8 months, I've been able to generate a residual income that's allowed me to leave my full time job, which I can tell you is pretty much the best feeling in the world. So, I thought I'd share with you today just some of the struggles I had and the reasons that I had that got me to that point to just saying, okay, enough is enough here. I need to do something with my life. I need to change something in my life because I'm not happy with the way it's going, and there's nothing in the future that I can see that is going to change the direction that I'm heading. So, a bit about me. I've been living in Perth in Western Australia for probably the last, what is it, 20-ish years. I've recently moved to Sydney, Australia, for the last 6 months. So, new city, and I think that was probably part of the reason that kind of got me on board and just said, something's got to change. So I think it did inspire me a little bit, which is great. So, um, I've been working in sales, pretty much, account management for a fairly long time, 8 to 10 years, I think. Um, I did go to university, but at the same time, there was nothing at the time that I really, really wanted to do. So I ended up following some friends into a commerce degree, which with that I kind of jumped back and forward between a few different majors. So there was I did a bit of finance, a bit of accounting, just none of which really did anything for me, to be honest. It was just purely going through the motions because I was there and because I was spending a crap load of money being there, that it was just, you just do it. It's just the system that we're in, and that's the expectations, and away you go. So I was getting to the point where I'd nearly done that, but the thing was, there was nothing I could see now in the future that this degree was going to give me that would get me to where I wanted to be. There was nothing I could see that excited me at all. So I was thinking to myself, like, what's this bit of paper going to do for me, other than maybe get me a better role in a job that I hate? So that's the internal struggle I was going through with all this going on. So that was probably the catalyst for me, like, as far as looking for something else, looking online, looking for an opportunity. So the sales I was in was quite it was quite cutthroat. So it was capital equipment sales. It was high value sales. We generally were required to sell about 7 pieces of machinery every month. So ranging from $30,000 up to $250,000. So it was big money, but the pressure was incredible. It was pretty much, you don't hit your sales for 1 month, cool, they'll give you a bit of coaching, see how you go. 2 months, you better start looking for another job just about. If you don't pick up your game, 3 months of not hitting targets, then you're in big trouble. You really are. So that's the kind of pressure I was living under day in, day out. And the good months, there's no one patting you on the back. It's just, cool, you've got your target, let's reset the calendar and go again, do it all over again. So it's not a great way to live. And there's guys in my office that were 60, 65, still doing this and still knocking on doors and cold calling and just doing whatever it takes to find that next sale. And it depressed me. I was like, is that going to be me for the rest of my life? Like, that's not what I want to do, definitely. And I'd always kind of known there was another way to do it, but I think you really need that catalyst to just kind of go, all right, I've had enough. I've really, really had enough of this. And I mean, I had a sales meeting one morning. It was at 7:30 in the morning, and I went in there and I just I don't even remember it, but I was in there and staring blankly into space. And I got in my car afterwards and just drove to a car park and just sat there for an hour, just staring into space. And it was actually that day, I think I actually joined my current opportunity the next day. Like that's kind of what it was for me, and from there, I mean, I've never really looked back. Like that to me was the best decision I ever made, and it took getting to that point where you just think, I don't know what to do next. That's what it took to take that leap, you know. So from there, I didn't know anything. Like I'm that guy. If you're ever gonna, you know, you want to team up with someone, and this isn't a sales pitch. This is just purely something I wish I'd maybe looked into a bit more, because my mentors are great in this business, but they'd all been there and done that. They'd come from other opportunities. They'd come in with a pretty big list of emails to market to, all this sort of stuff. They had, you know, technical abilities. I didn't have any of that. I didn't have a single email. I know the basics of computers. I mean, I know probably what the majority of people would know, just how to use social media, how to use, you know, Excel, Word, like just the basics. That was it. I didn't know anything about marketing, nothing like that. So the thing was, it takes a crap load of work. It really does, because there's times when you're just sitting there staring at the screen and just thinking, what do I do next? Like I'm lost. I don't know how to make this work. And it's those really sort of down times when you just have to really, really, you know, find your resolve and push through, because it just really, it's an amazing feeling when you finally do push through. And it, you know, when you start seeing money coming in online, you know, when you wake up in the morning and it's in your account, it's a crazy feeling. It really is. And it took me a long time. Like I said, it's been 8 months, but I didn't start seeing anything, you know, for probably a couple of months, and that was just dribs and drabs. But as you get better at it, it gets easier and it gets quicker as well. So things that were taking me 3 hours to do after work, I'd compress down to maybe half an hour to an hour, and then I had that extra time to, you know, to do whatever I needed to do some more marketing, to, you know, do some more research, to read, to study. And like I said, the process gets easier. So the thing with this industry is you just have to be prepared to work. I swear anyone can do this, but it has to be a commitment every single day, regardless of how much time you've got, if you're full-time or part-time. It's really a numbers game, and it's a game that persistence pays off. It really does. So, I mean, all I can say is that if you're looking into, you know, any sort of online opportunity, I'm not even going to talk about what I do today. If you are interested and want to take a look, then you'll find a link below the video. You know, jump on, take a look. But I guess the main purpose of me being here, and the way I think, or I hope I can help you moving forward with whatever you're doing. So if you might have your own business, you might be a physical business, you might sell sports equipment or whatever it may be. But I think, you know, moving forward, and what I'm going to offer is just tips on how to, you know, push through, how to do these things. I think a lot of the tutorials and things out there skip over the part that the newbies need, you know, like just the basics of setting things up, and, you know, how to write your first email and your autoresponder to send it out to your, you know, potential clients or team members or whoever it may be. Like it's that initial stuff, and that's the stuff that I really struggled with. And I'd go to the trainings that, you know, my business offered and these sort of things, but they're sort of talking, okay, now that we've got this list and we've got this and we've got that, we can start marketing to them. Here's how you do that. But I didn't have any of that. I didn't have a list. I had no one to market to. So I found that side of things is where you really have to have that resolve, and I think where the most help is going to be needed. So that's sort of where I'm coming from. And I think also just to provide a little bit of help as far as the mental side of it, because it can be, like I said, it's not easy. It can get quite down sometimes when you're just thinking, what's happening? Like, no one's clicking on my stuff, no one's responding. I just, you know, nothing's nothing's working, it's those times when you have to push the hardest. You really do. You have to just grit your teeth and say, look, this is, you know, this is the beginning. I'm not supposed to be succeeding my first 3 weeks in. I'm laying the groundwork. So all I can say is just push through. And like I said, I'm going to be providing these videos, and regardless of whether you would like to join me or not, I'd love that you would. And I'm slowly creating an amazing team. We've got plenty of Australians in there, but we've got plenty of international team members now from United States and Canada, a couple in Asia, I believe. But yeah, I like I said, I'd love you to join us, and we can smash this thing out together. So if you'd like to get some more information, you can check out the link below. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed today's little chat, and there'll be plenty more more meat and potatoes tutorials moving forward, just how to get the basics right and how to start building your list and how to generate traffic, even on a small budget, which is what I was starting with. So there's strategies through Facebook and through YouTube, and just through blogging. Blogging is the most powerful tool in the world. Like, seriously, video blogging and just your standard text blogging, it'll generate your leads for forever. It's because it's always there and people are always searching, and you might have written or recorded a blog 3 years ago, but as long as it's still in the search engines, it's still generating you leads. So it's a crazy amount of power that a blog has. So more than anything, I would suggest get behind a camera, get behind your keyboard, and just start putting out some content where people get to see who you are, offer them value, and you've won half the battle anyway. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for your time today, and I'll be seeing you soon. Peace.